Hey, good evening, everyone. It's Leanne here, and I'm popping in real quick to talk about books and memories. Have you ever read a book, or even we can say a movie, read a book more than once, or watched a movie more than once? And the first time you watch it, you see certain things, or the first time you read the book, you get one meaning from the book, and then maybe a couple years later you decide to watch the movie again or reread the book, and you see parts that you didn't see the first time, and you read things in the book that you swear weren't there the first time around, and you're like, wow, you're looking at the book, is this the same book that I read a couple years ago? Or the idea that I am like really bad about going, well, I have that, like if I can pick up a book and find something new, I swear I want to like make a copy of the page and then go back 2 years later and see if it's the exact same print that's on the page because it feels so different. But I also, when I'm reading a book, it's always like, oh, this is the best book. Oh my gosh, this information in here is just so powerful and meaningful, and oh, this is going to change my life. And I was like, God, that's so weird. How come every book you pick up, not everyone, but when I'm reading them, it just it's like, wow, exactly what I needed to hear. Not so much on the movie, but you do pick up different parts in a movie, maybe depending on the time of your life or what's going on. Like right now, dealing with the death of my father and everything. I'm sure I would, if I watched a movie, I would pick up more on the emotion side of a movie right now than maybe on a normal time in my life when there's not so much going on. But it's the reason why we learn and hear different things when we reread the same materials, because we're evolving and we're not that same person we were a couple years ago, and through our experiences and through living life, if you're actually living and learning and thinking as you go along, the information printed on those pages are going to mean different things to you if you're living an intentional life, a life of awareness, a life of that your desire each day is to become not necessarily a better person, but to be your best self. Because it's all, everything we need is in here. We just need to find the best way to express it. And as we grow through our readings and different things, then we just know. We know what to express, and it seems that the right book comes to us also, and it just knows. So I think that's just cool that you don't have to go buy different books. You can just go reread the same ones and get a totally different lesson from it. And if you do that, that means you are on a growth pattern, which is a good thing. But how that relates to memories is I wanted to just share with you that, some of us have memories that maybe don't serve us so well. And so if you think of your memory as a book on a shelf, because a memory is just the thoughts that we attached to a certain circumstance, a certain time in our life. Memories feel very real, but you at any moment can decide to create a different memory around the experience. So if you have something, and maybe I've talked about this before, I'm not sure, but if you have a certain memory that, and I'll just use an example of one that's not good or bad, but I didn't have a memory of how I learned how to swim. So I just kind of created the memory that, my dad just threw me in. And, I didn't necessarily think that was a negative thing, or, but I don't remember, so I just made up a memory. And so if you don't remember something, why don't you make it up on the good, uplifting side versus something on the negative side? Because that could be taken as a negative, that my dad just threw me in, but it never, I figure he threw me in and he jumped in and we learned how to swim together. That's the memory I'll create. And I have an opportunity now that my father has passed from this physical world to if there's some memories that if I don't have a memory of a certain event, then I can just create one that works for me. And some of you may be saying, well, that's That's kind of fake and bogus. Well, not really, because our memories are what we create with our thoughts. So think about some memories that maybe aren't serving you so well, and take that book off the shelf and rewrite it in a way that serves your true purpose, serves for your best growth. Put whatever color and tone and twist to it that you want. A nice, positive, upbeat, not Pollyanna, but just, something that works for you. Rewrite it. Put the book back on the shelf. And then, a couple weeks later, you decide you want to read that chapter of your life. So you pull that book off the shelf and you read, and you're like, wow, that was a great time in my life, a great experience, because you're choosing to, you looked at the same event, but you attached different memories to that event, which created different words, which created different thoughts, which created different reality for you. And that's all within your power. And I think that's pretty cool, because I personally, the mosquitoes are getting me, want to be in control of my life to the best of my ability. Which means that if something isn't working for me, then I need to take the time to look at it and reflect and see why. And maybe it's just a story that I created in my head. Who knows if it's real or not? And just rewrite it. I'll give another just quick example of someone that I know says over and over to different people that he lost his house. And the truth of the matter is, and that, that sounds like, maybe it went into foreclosure, and that sounds like, it had to be a horrible experience. The truth of the matter is that this person had a job offer in another state. She really didn't want to take, but he made the decision to take it, so he needed to sell his house. So he sold his house, made a nice profit off of his house. The job didn't work out. He had to move back, but that's okay. And so he still has some money in his pocket that he's able to live on until he can find a job. But he created the story, and he said that he lost his house. And he's really close to me, so I finally, this week, just said, that's a big fat lie. But that was the story that he had written about that event. But it's not even the truth. I said, that's fabricated. So I encourage this person to, maybe if you're going to fabricate your story, fabricate it to something that's going to work for you. And that means letting go of your victimhood for a lot of us, and taking full responsibility for our lives, letting go of the blame that we've placed on somebody or something, and just knowing that, hey, I am in full control. I know there are circumstances that we can't control, Mother Nature and things like that, but for the most part, we have control over a large percentage of our life. So, anyways, I kind of went long-winded because I'm still kind of tired and dealing with a lot of family stuff and emotional stuff and, stuff of life and stuff of death. So I'm kind of rambling, so I apologize. But by next week, I know I will have up and down days, but I've got a lot to still get through this weekend. And so then my videos will probably be a little more upbeat once I get through. But I'm just being real, just being me, and I'm just trying to connect with my audience and let you know that, sometimes life just stinks. But it's still my choice to create a memory around that. Bad things don't have to mean that you create bad memories. I've already had a lot of aha moments in the last couple days around lots of things in my life. So I would like to invite you to pull that book off the shelf, reread your life story, and if there's things that you want to tweak, to draw outside the lines, to change the colors, to do different things, take that opportunity and rewrite your memory, because you can control that. So have a great evening. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.